Hey everyone!
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to the White Hatter live show. Thank you for actually tuning in this time. We fixed some audio problems from the last week.
Some gremlins. We had some of the, there's Trollger right there. We had some things going on and that kind of stuff. But I'm Darren.
I'm Brandon with the White Hatter.
Yeah, the White Hatter team, and really looking forward to today's presentation. So why don't we get going? But before we start, how do people connect with us here on our channel?
As always, part of the live show is always we encourage all of you to connect with us, ask questions, respond to the comments and to questions we're going to ask all of you during the presentation today. So as always, you can connect with us here on the YouTube live chat down below or on the side. Leave a comment, leave a question, mention us or tag us on Twitter, send us a direct message on Instagram, or as always, you can comment or message us on Facebook. Those are the ways to connect with us here on the live show.
And Candace is our social media coordinator, is in the control room right now, and she's monitoring all those feeds. So as any questions come in, she'll be able to feed them to us, so we'll be able to get to them as quickly as we can during the presentation. So what do we got on the agenda? What do we got going here?
Our first segment, as usual, is the White Hatter update.
The update. Yeah.
And this is just where we're going to talk about some things that we're doing, that we've seen, what we've done, and kind of updating all of you on what we are doing here at the White Hatter.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. So what's the first thing we got going on?
Well, this is essentially our first show. Well, I mean, it could be the second show.
Yeah, it would have been our first show, right?
So we want to talk about some general summaries of things that we pulled some data together from last year, 2018.
Yeah, busy year for us.
Very busy year.
And this year is getting even busier.
I know.
I love it.
So,
love it.
Here's some just information that we just kind of pulled together, and then we want to share with all of you. Yeah. So in 2018, ending the year, we reached just about, just over 440,000 students in total since we started doing what it is we love to do.
And that's elementary, middle school, and high school, right? Students, 440,000. I think we're going to hit 500,000 before the end of this school year. I really do believe that.
Yeah, I think so too, because if you just look at last year, of students only who attended our Internet Safety and Digital Literacy program, which is only like one program in what we do here at the White Hatter, we reached about 45,000 students.
From right across Canada and the United States, right? Not just BC, but across Canada and the US.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Fantastic.
And I mean, we've even, Beth has just booked, or just in the process of booking some more programs. It looks like we might be going to Alaska. Woo-hoo! Going to Alaska, right?
Wow.
That'd be kind of cool if we can get up there. And very exciting. So.
And then we also awarded 4 White Hatter medallions last year.
And these go to students who become upstanders rather than bystanders, who connect with us because they now know of a student who's connected with them directly or indirectly online that we're considering self-harm or suicide as an option, and they reach out to us for help. And in every one of those cases thus far, we've been able to help those students get that other student the help that they need, which is kind of cool. So we reward students by giving them our White Hatter medallion, something we're very, very honored to do as a company.
And as of this year, which has only been about a month now, we've already awarded
two more to
medallions.
another 2 students who connected with us because of a friend of theirs who had actually self-harmed. They actually self-harmed and were considering suicide as an option. So, and that young person is now getting the help that they need. Kind of cool. Really, congratulations to the upstanders out there, right? For students becoming these upstanders rather than bystanders. Yeah. What else we got going?
Last year, we actually pulled some information together on Instagram, and we estimated about, from the data we pulled, that we reached 2,700 30 students directly on Instagram who asked us questions, who want security checks, all that type of stuff.
And that's what's really cool about never in our wildest dreams when we started the company did we ever think that we'd become an outreach where people could connect with us to talk to us about all kinds of different things. And now we see that happening, which is really cool. Students, teachers, adults, law enforcement now connect with us almost on a daily basis on all our social media platforms. But Instagram seems to be the biggest one where they will ask us questions. And if we don't know the answer, we know somebody who does. But with the team that we now have, we usually, between you and Candace, especially dealing with the Instagram messages that are coming in, we're very happy to be that resource to get that information out to you, those people who follow us, which is kind of cool. And it's free, right? We don't charge anything for that.
Last year was the most busiest year we had with people messaging us and asking us questions on social media.
And some of the questions has just been great, right? Like, I mean, unbelievable, some of the questions, right? And no matter how hard the question or how difficult the question, we always give the honest answer, right? We always give the honest answer, and that's what we think is really, really important.
Yeah.
So what else we got going?
Additionally, you were actually asked to write a little segment in this booklet here.
Yeah.
From Bullying Ends Here, which is run by an individual that we know quite well, actually.
Very well.
Yeah.
That's Tal Mulmine, and he runs a not-for-profit called Bullying Ends Here. And Tad was a member of the RCMP. That's how I met him first. And then from there, he moved, and he's now with the Calgary Police Department. But he travels internationally, talking about anti-bullying and his experience as a young person. And just unbelievable, his presentation, what he does. And we were honored that he actually asked us to write a couple pages in his book that he's giving out at schools right now. And he asked me to talk about the specifics of dealing with digital peer aggression, what's commonly known as cyberbullying, and we were really happy to do that. So big tip of our white hat to Tad for connecting with us, and we were very honored that we were able to do it. And for those of you who haven't heard Tad, check out his site, Bullying Ends Here online, right? Just a great guy, great program.
Fantastic program.
Highly endorse it, right? Highly endorse it.
Yeah.
And what else?
To date, we have now been involved in 186 interventions where someone messaged us online because they found themselves or someone else in a dangerous life circumstance.
Yeah, and that last week was the one where the two students, that was number 186, right?
Yeah.
Where they connected with us because they were concerned or they knew somebody who was concerned about considering self-harm or suicide as an option.
Yeah.
And in every case, knock on wood right now, we've been able to assist to ensure that that young person got the help that they needed. So again, something that we're and something we never in our wildest dreams did we ever think would happen with the company where people would reach out to us like that, but they have. And as a company, we've kind of grown. I mean, a good example is that you and Candace took the ASSIST program, right?
Yeah.
And what was that all about?
It's applied suicide skill intervention training. So it's basically, providing tools and solutions for individuals who are undergoing a dangerous life circumstance, who are considering, who are undergoing a mental health crisis, self-harm, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's through Youth Space and Need Too, right?
Yeah.
Two local groups here in Victoria,
Yeah.
which are really, really kind of cool.
Yeah.
So something we're very proud of, right, is doing with that. So
Yeah.
I know this next one that we want to update was kind of cool. What's this one all about?
So there's a couple new blog posts that we've written on our site.
Yeah.
And this blog post here was actually written by Candace. And
Who's Candace again?
Social media coordinator.
Social media coordinator.
She's the one in the back there, kind of looking for all the questions, interacting with all of you in the comments.
Yeah.
So she wrote this article kind of describing and deciphering memes.
So what does a meme mean? Get that joke? What does a meme mean?
So for all of you who are dedicated memers, you all know, it's very difficult to truly describe what a meme is. And you really shouldn't even do it. But she took the challenge. She wrote this fantastic article really trying to decipher memes and meme culture for individuals who are not memers. If you are a memer, it's still a really great read to kind of figuring out what is it that memes are.
One of the cool things about the internet is one of our followers who's Alan from Great Britain, Alan, he is also a social media presenter and educator and that kind of stuff. He loved this, and he actually took this and he shared it on his site. So this article has gotten world connection throughout the world, right? I think you said to me that this is, given how long it's been online or the short amount of time, it's received more hits than a lot of the other stuff.
It's one of our most popular articles, surprisingly.
Yeah, and so for the parents and the adults who are following us right now that don't really know what a meme is, or even the teens who want to get a different spin on it, go to our blog on our website, which is www.thewhitehatter.ca, and click on that, right? And all the other blog posts that we have on there that I'm sure would be of great interest.
Yeah.
Right?
Speaking of which, there was another blog that we wrote, since the last live show.
Oh, good segue. Good segue. Yeah, good segue.
This is an article that you titled 15 Steps on Stopping the Digital Grinch. And you wrote this
I did.
in regards to the up and coming,
Christmas
holiday season.
Yeah.
So, talk about this article.
This is kind of funny because I wrote this article, and then on the second day after Boxing Day, Beth and I, we were driving down to go and have a look at some specials and that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, we see this person looking into a driveway. And of course, a lot of you know that I was a cop for 30 years. My cop radar turned on, right? And I could tell that this person was in what we call crime mode, like they were doing. And I saw them looking at this house, and they walk by, and then they do what we call a U-turn. They turn around, and we watch the person walk down the sidewalk to the home, and I lose sight because we're in a car, we're driving. As I turn around to come back to see what's going on, that person is walking out, and you can see that they have a package in their hand that they didn't have, and they were stuffing it in a bag, and I went, I think she just stole something off the porch, right? So we continue to follow this person. They go down about a half a block. They look over a big fence, right, like a solid fence. I'm going, well, here, they're going to do it again. So all of a sudden, they open up the fence. They walk in out of our sight, so I pull over the side of the road, and like 30 seconds later, the person pops out, and they definitely have a brown parcel, and they're shoving it into their bag, and I go, this person is definitely stealing stuff off the porches, right?
Yeah.
So Beth phones the RCMP, and we continue to follow her. We watch her walk down the sidewalk. She goes into a parking lot. She lights up a cigarette, and then she's going through the shopping mall, and she's trying open doors. And if she found a car that was open, she'd go in, she'd rummage through, take stuff, put it in. And she did that with like a number of cars through the parking lot. Then we watch her go into a truck. And we're still waiting for the police, right? It's like 5 minutes at this point in time, still no police are there. And she goes into a truck, and she's rummaging. We can actually watch her through the screen, rummaging through this truck, taking stuff, putting it in her bag. She comes out, she crosses over the highway, she goes between two other big buildings. She then goes into another parking lot of a major shopping center, and we're watching her going through these cars, and we actually see her exit a car taking a big white bag she found in one of the cars. She's walking away, and by then the police arrive and they arrest her, and they find all this stuff on her. But I mean, it was actually ironic that here I am writing this article about parcel thefts and mail theft, and we're watching it going down. And big shout out to the RCMP out here in the West Shore on Vancouver Island about getting members there to get this person arrested and stuff. And ironic, right? Totally ironic to watch this going down. I mean, it's another big message too, like, people, make sure you lock your cars and make sure you don't put anything of value in it, because it's a crime of opportunity, right? It really is.
All right. Oh, we have a question coming in.
Oh, big question.
On our YouTube chat. Cool K Gaming.
Yeah.
Cool. If I send a question to your IG, how quick will you answer it? Great question. We actually, generally speaking, we typically say if you ask us a question or comment or message us on Instagram, we usually respond in about 24 to 48 hours. If we see something more serious, generally kind of be more on the top of the list.
Yeah.
But again, it's not as if we monitor our Instagram and social media 24/7. We're a very small team,
right?
But we do the best we can.
Yeah, it's not like a 24/7 emergency phone number, because if it's like that, you should always dial the police or crisis line. But I mean, we try to answer the questions as quickly as we can, but sometimes it could take up to 24 to 48 hours. But a lot of times, we're answering pretty quickly. But still, if it's an emergency, it should be something that you're phoning the police, talking to your parents, or getting a hold of a crisis line.
We have some emergency contacts actually in our Instagram description that you can click on that will take you directly to those emergency resources to get help as soon as possible, if it's that serious.
Yeah. Another really cool update is what we did with the White Hatter team, right?
Yes, actually, the White Hatter team is growing.
We are.
2018, we're growing.
We are.
How great is that?
I think it's cool, right?
So,
I think it's really cool that as a company, we started as this family company where there was 3 of us, now there are 4 or 5, and now we're just building because we're getting so much interest, and we're really surrounding ourselves with people who have the same drive and same experience and expertise in the field. And so we brought everybody together just recently for a training day.
We had a training day with the entire new White Hatter team. And here we actually took a group photo.
A good photo. Yeah.
Here's a group photo of members of there's some new faces here.
Yeah, and how about if we introduce some? So on the far left there is Julia, and Julia is a professor up at VIU, Vancouver Island University. She's working on her PhD right now in privacy, right? So she's one of those academics, kind of like this guy here.
She's one of our privacy experts on the team.
And she's good at what she does. And next to her is Hervé, and Hervé is an IT specialist with a law enforcement agency, and he's very good at IT and programming. And what's really cool about Hervé is he's also French Canadian, so he's fluent in French. So he's actually going to be teaching some of our programs to schools, French immersion schools here in the province, in French, which is really cool. And we're hoping to do some other really cool things given his IT background and what he does. And then next to him is Cal. And Cal, great guy, a retired sergeant from Delta Police Department. I met him many years ago when he brought us in to speak at his schools because he was in charge of schools for such a long time. And Cal is now on board with the White Hatter team, and Cal's going to be teaching our new leveraging social media program, where he's going to be teaching students in grades 10 and 11 and 12 how to use social media to get into a college or university or get that job. And it's going to be it's going to be an awesome skill in the program. And he's just a great presenter, right? Great guy. Next to him is this bald guy. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's me. But next to me, just over my left shoulder there, that's Shannon. You'll notice that she's holding her white hat in front of her face. And the reason we're doing that is because she's still current law enforcement, right? She still works with law enforcement. So we want to be a little careful because maybe one day she wants to work undercover work. So we're kind of making sure that, we're not showing her face too much and stuff. But she's also going to be teaching the leveraging program, just a great presenter. And she brings youth to the equation because she's, in her mid-20s. So she's not like one of us old guys, as you like to call me. But she really brings a strong background from law enforcement and social media. And then next to her is Chris Spargo, and Chris teaches all our business programs. Violence in the workplace prevention, workplace safety issues, bullying in the workplace, active shooter issues and stuff, really cool. And he does all the business and corporate work in that area. And then in the front, obviously, there's you, and next to you is really the brains behind the company, as we like to say, because I think we would all be lost without her. That's Beth, who's also my wife and your mom. And she's the CEO of the company, and we had just a really good training day that whole day, right? Where we shared all kinds of things.
Also, Candace took the picture, so she's not in the picture. She actually, funny story. I was trying to take the picture, and I was trying to do it remotely, but I couldn't get the remote to work. I don't know. I know.
It's kind of funny because you're kind of the tech guy of the company and you couldn't make the thing work, right? That's what was kind of funny.
Last Sunday we had technical issues. I don't know what's going on. It happens. But anyway, so Candace had to actually stand and manually take the picture. So she's not there, but she is a huge member of the team. And she's in the background right now, again, managing all the kind of questions. It's actually funny. Speaking of questions, we have some comments coming on YouTube.
We do.
Which was...
how about I may want to join the White Hatter team one day from Cool Gaming. That'd be kind of cool, right? Like we're keeping our eye on a couple of young people right now. We're going to mention one of them a little bit later here, who has got a real knack for this, and we think would be real good additions to the White Hatter team, right? And as we grow, I mean, one of the things that we want to do is we want to create this White Hatter team advisory committee where we get teams that we present to who can connect with us as a group and talk about what's going on in their lives, because we truly do believe that teens and preteens should be help guiding this, because they're the ones that are really immersed, and I think we as adults can learn a lot from them.
I agree.
Yeah,
totally.
for sure. So.
And afterwards, after our team training day,
we were hungry.
We were hungry.
We worked up a hunger.
So
what did we do? We fed the team. How did we feed the team?
We actually went to one of our favorite food spots, Bin 4. For any of
Check this out. This is the White Hatter Vehicle 1, right? That's our Vehicle 1. And check this out. Check this out. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. This is what we fed the team.
Look at all those burgers.
Look at all those burgers.
Okay. So any of you locally in the Greater Victoria area who has eaten at Bin 4, I mean, they make some fantastic food.
And there's a store in the Lower Mainland now too, right?
Yeah, there is. I enjoy Bin 4 because they make gluten-free burgers, which I need, so that's fantastic. So any of you who actually been to Bin 4 who are watching locally, leave a comment down below on what is your favorite Bin 4 burger. I'd love to hear. Mine is the wild mushroom burger. That's my favorite.
Mine was cheese and bacon. I'm just one of those. Just one of those guys, right? Yeah. But we had fries, we had salads, we had onion rings, we had all kinds of stuff, right?
Great.
It was a good chow down. I mean, who was it? Cal was saying that on the way back from the ferry, he was still wiping all the food off of his face because he just chowed down on it, right? It was a great training day, great meal at the end of the day. And speaking of Cal, I mean, just a great guy, right? Like here's a picture of him, because one of the things that we do is, you know, he's up and trained, but one of the things he had to come back to present in front of the toughest crowd he could ever have, and that's us, right? His peers. And there he is this week. He came back over from the mainland. He was doing his run through us as a company, and he did a great job. I mean, we are so happy and blessed to have him as a team member, and he's really going to rock it out when it comes to presenting on the leverage, especially for the communities in the Lower Mainland, because that's where he's based. He's based in the Lower Mainland right now. He's quite well known there. So again, big shout out to Cal, and that kind of he did a really good job, and I think to this day he's still stuffed from those burgers that he ate from Ben 4, right? So yeah, great training day. So again, how can people connect with us, Brandon?
As usual, I mean, we love answering questions. We already answered some questions live here already on the show. So yeah, leave a comment down below, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, mention, comment, tag us, and we'll do the best we can to respond on the show and answer those questions.
Good example. Here's one from Citrine Animations. We're going to talk about him in a little bit, right? Yeah. He asked a great question, and he says, is Amino app safe for me to use as an artist? I've been wanting to try it.
Yeah, actually, Candace wrote a blog on that exact article about a couple months ago.
She did.
So that was the one before she wrote the meme one.
Yeah, the meme one.
And what we found is it was actually a fairly generally safe app.
I mean,
like any app out there, there's obviously some concerning content. I mean, there's always some inappropriate content, but we see that on any app with any form of communication.
But overall, it's a really cool app, right? There's some really cool things going on.
It has it has a really big artist community. So if you want to use it to share your art, your creativity, your drawings, it's actually a fairly great app.
Kind of like what you do, Citrine. Like you'll see in a little bit, because we're going to give you a huge shout out here in a little bit, as you know, right? So what do we got going next, Brendan?
Our next segment is the inbox.
Oh, here comes. I love that sound effect. Every show I do it, right? And we got some really good questions that came in. And we got one from Instagram. And the question that came in from Instagram was, someone has been sending me inappropriate pictures and messages on Instagram from an account I don't recognize. What do I do? Great question, Brandon. How are you going to answer that question?
This is the type of question that we get quite often on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I mean, with Candace, she as the one, you know, engaging in most of these posts and questions, she's told us, she's seeing an increase in people asking us these types of questions.
Yeah, for sure.
And the thing is that the thing with Instagram is, regardless if you have an open or private account on Instagram, any other account on Instagram can message you, which can be one in your friends or followers list or not, or a request. So this is a really can sometimes be a concerning thing, because if anyone can message you, if you know them or not, they can sometimes send you inappropriate stuff.
Yeah.
So if it does happen, generally what we say is, you know what? Every major social network out there has the ability for you to block people, and that's generally always the first step. And then block it, and then also record what's happening.
And report it.
And report it.
And report it,
And report it. And then, report it, take pictures, screenshots, and show it to the, relevant authorities. People message us going, hey, who can I contact for help? And we guide people who message us on social media. We guide them on who they can talk to deal with some of this stuff that can get really inappropriate.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to understand as well that it's just block and delete. Don't engage them. Because even by saying, listen, I don't want to talk to you anymore, by you just sending that message, you're talking to them. So psychologically, they're saying, oh, well, no, you really do. So just block and delete. Now, is there anything to stop them from creating another page and doing it again? No. I mean, that's one of the challenges that we have. But again, if that happens again, just block and delete. And because if you bite, they've just hooked you and they're going to have fun with you, right? So really important. Next question. Oh, this is a great question that came in on Instagram again. Brandon, maybe you can talk about this one.
Yeah, we've had some increasing questions of individuals asking us, is the Telenym app a good or bad app? And for those of you who are not quite familiar with this app, this is one of those apps that you can create an account on, and then other account users can send you like anonymous messages.
Yeah, it's like Sora or any of the other apps that are out there.
There's various apps like that. And the thing about this is, like, to me, like there really isn't such a thing as a good or bad app. It's really how you use the app that makes it good or bad.
Yeah.
And people who are using anonymous messaging apps that are more so designed to be anonymous, which isn't quite true, but essentially you can't see other people's names. So you're probably going to see an increase in people sending potentially inappropriate stuff using an app like this. So we would recommend not using this app because it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No.
Like having random people send you random messages. Like use apps like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, like apps where you actually have to connect with your friends because then you're going to get more interesting conversations.
And some of these anonymous apps start out really cool. They really do, right?
Yeah.
But they're usually quickly weaponized where they're now being used as a way to target another person for the issues of digital peer aggression, cyberbullying, and inappropriate behavior, right? So again, it's just something to think about, right? It really is. We had another question on Instagram, and this question was, someone has my IP address, and I'm worried that they have all my credit card information and other sensitive information. Is this possible? We get this question a lot, don't we?
We do. We get various questions, people asking us, hey, I'm talking to someone or some hacker online.
And just before we go, I think it's important that everybody knows that we're online investigators as well, right?
True.
Like I bring law enforcement, you're trained as an open source intelligence, so we have a lot of knowledge in this field, right? So go ahead.
We get questions a lot from individuals asking us, hey, I'm talking to someone online, they say they have my IP address, I'm worried that they can hack me or do whatever it is they're concerned about. And just because someone might know your IP address does not mean that's a bad thing. Because basically, if you have a device and you are connecting to the internet, your IP address is being broadcast in a way to the internet. So it's not necessarily a private thing in the first place. It's more so if someone is saying your IP address and then they are threatening you by hacking you or doing all sorts of things, then that's a bit of a concern. And then, like before, it's about recording, blocking, and reporting that individual.
And we helped a teen this week who was the kids called it being doxxed, right? Being doxxed online, right? And it happened in a game and that kind of stuff where they were able to get the IP and then they doxed and find out other information about them. Nothing on the issues of credit cards or anything, but they knew where they lived, their phone number, some of the basic tombstone information. So is one of the ways to help protect yourself from this is virtual privacy networks or VPNs? Yeah,
certainly. VPNs are great tools for privacy. So if you're online, you're going to websites, using games, using apps, whatever it is you love to do, by using a VPN is a way of sort of masking your location from other people seeing exactly who you are. Now, it's not perfect.
No, it's not, but it goes a long way in helping to protect.
It goes a long way.
And what's the one that we use?
We use private internet access for its availability, pricing, and speed.
Yeah, good product. So what's going on in the news? That's our next segment, right?
Yeah, this is our regular In the News segment where we talk about everything, news updates, stories that have come up that we want to share with all of you. And the first one is this article, this actually post from a Google developer, Google engineer, and they are updating their terms of service on YouTube, their community guidelines.
And I think what really pushed this one was the issue of the Bird Box challenge that came up. It was kind of the tipping point. There were all these other challenges out there, like the cinnamon challenge, the choking challenge, the Kiki challenge, the burning challenge. And as a result of that, some of these things that look funny were causing significant injuries, right? And the recent one, which was the Bird Box challenge, where people were blindfolding themselves and doing things like they saw in the movie Bird Box with Sandra Bullock, and were getting seriously injured and harmed. So YouTube has finally decided to change their terms of service to help minimize those types of YouTube videos from taking place. But what's going to be interesting is, YouTube actually does have a pretty good terms of services about what is acceptable and what is acceptable behavior, as do most of the major social networks. But the biggest challenge is how do they go about policing it, right? Because when you think about it, there's millions and millions and millions of people in there, and it's hard for them to keep up sometimes, right?
It is, and YouTube already has problems with its artificial intelligence. We know that in regards to copy striking and all that type of stuff. So great policy to have. The concern is, how is it going to be enforced?
Yeah, so I congratulate YouTube on doing it, and we're going to be watching closely to see how they police it, right? Because I also think it's incumbent upon us, viewers, that if we see this type of stuff, that we're reporting it to them as well to help them. Because you're right, they're using an artificial intelligence to help them, but there's nothing better than the human factor, right? And that's what we are. We're the human factor. We're the one watching this stuff, and we should be reporting it when we see it, especially if it's inappropriate and causing harm or significant issues, right? So what else we got going on?
Another really great article. Actually, a research article that was posted not that long ago,
Yeah.
published by university people from Oxford. And this is a article kind of discussing the potential or disproving the issue of screen time and negative behavioral results.
So, given that you have your master's, why is this type of research so important, Brandon?
This research is important because what makes this research article very different from many other ones. Well, we see in news reports all the time going, screen time equals negative health outcomes or whatever. And what's great about this article is it has one of the largest population sizes of individuals that it researched worldwide.
350,000 teens from across the UK and the United States.
Yeah.
And I just want to read something from here, just really simple. It says, the study used more than 350,000 adolescents to show persuasively that at a population level, technology use has a nearly negligible effect on adolescent psychological well-being measured in the range of questions addressing depressive symptoms, suicidal ideations, pro-social behavior, peer relationship problems, and the like. That's a really important message because of this thing called juvenovia, right? This thing where it's causing moral panic. And we hear this all the time in our parents' presentations, where we hear parents saying, you know, my child is being addicted, all these horrible things are going on and stuff, right? And what this research shows was that there was a 0.4%, so significantly like it very, very low, right? Now, we're not saying that bad things don't happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, certainly there can be some negative online behaviors, and most researchers call that as problematic internet use. So,
rather than addiction, because when we use the word addiction, it kind of stigmatizes the word. Because, you know, when I think addiction, I think drugs and alcohol, really bad things. So when all of a sudden you're saying to your child, you're becoming addicted to your screen, it's kind of stigmatizing the child, right?
And it's a little disrespectful to people who are actually undergoing a diagnosis of addiction. It's being really disrespectful to those people.
Yeah.
And it needs to stop. And using the word internet addiction doesn't make a lot of sense in the first place. Because if someone's addicted to the internet, then that means they're addicted to every single aspect of the internet, and we don't see that. We see certain problems like gaming disorder.
Yeah.
That's classified by the World Health Organization,
right?
And that is a clear, definitive behavioral problem. But even then, it's very rare.
And they didn't call it addiction, right?
Exactly.
And the DSM-5, which is the manual to help psychologists and psychiatrists and medical doctors designate something as an addiction, doesn't use the word internet addiction, right? It's problematic internet usage.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. But even then, it's really important. Like the World Health Organization, some current research that just came out said that only 0.5% of the population will ever be diagnosed. So it's extremely rare. And for those parents and even kids out there that want to read a really good book that is chock-a-block full of evidence-based research, right? Because evidence-based research is what is really important when we're talking about. It's called Moral, M-O-R-A-L, Combat. It's just an unbelievable book, and I highly recommend it. Again, what we need to start doing as educators is we need to start talking about this balance, right? And like Candace and I, our social media coordinator, we were at a presentation this week over internet gaming addiction, and it was unbelievable and when I say unbelievable in a bad way, where they were talking about all this negative stuff about what's happening with our kids online, and they spoke about nothing in the positive. There was no balance there. And a lot of what they were talking about was opinion-based. It was anecdotal. They had none of the current evidence-based research that is out there right now.
Or Candace said they spoke only to their own experiences.
Yeah.
Which then it may be a little bit biased, because if you're only tasked with dealing with issues, then you're going to see those issues and nothing else.
For sure. And so one of the things that we do as a team is we take a balanced approach. We talk about the less desirable and also about the desirable things that our kids are doing online right now, and how we as parents need to be really cognizant. Like we say, gaming is cool. Both Brandon and I game, and I've got really involved in some gaming just since Christmas.
You did. You did.
I know. But you know what the secret is? We think gaming is cool, but if gaming is affecting your child in an emotional, psychological, physical, and a social way, in a negative way, there's an issue there. That is behavior that is becoming inappropriate.
And additionally, it's not just kids as well. I mean, we've seen fully grown adults who also are undergoing some kind of issue with their behavior with gaming or gambling or any of that type of stuff. So if if someone's behavior, no matter how old you are, is causing problems socially, financially, professionally, it's a bit of a problem.
And what's kind of funny, kids are getting pretty smart, right? Like we had one of our followers send me a message going, you know what, Darren and the White Hatter team, my parents were really kind of concerned over the fact I was spending 2 or 3 hours gaming on my laptop, but they spend 8 or 10 hours in front of computer screens at work. Right? It's again, it's not what they're doing online. It's not how much time they're spending online. It's what they're doing with their time, right? Are they just being consumers, or are they being producers and creators? Some of these things we're going to celebrate here in a little bit with some of the kids. So it's about finding a balance and talking to parents about a balance, right?
Yeah.
Rather than trying to scare them, right? That just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else we got going?
Another article that popped up in the news, actually quite prominently over the last little bit, was the the 10-year challenge.
And Julia from the White Hatter team, our White Hatter team member, brought this to our attention. She thought we should talk. So go ahead, talk about this one.
So if you've been online in the recent weeks or something, you may have seen a couple posts of people doing hashtag 10-year challenge, which is basically a challenge where you take a picture of yourself on, what you look like right now, and then you post that picture beside a picture what you looked like 10 years ago to kind of show, how you've developed, how you've grown if you're younger, that kind of stuff, right? How you've changed over the years. And one of the concerns that people started talking to online is what is happening with privacy. If you post these pictures beside each other, that's a lot of good information data that social networks can use. Because we all know that Facebook has clearly stated that if you post a picture online, they will analyze your face and data mine your face to understand what you look like.
And tag you in other pictures that people may post.
Potentially.
Right?
Yeah. So what that means is if you have these pictures beside each other, well, that's really good data for the algorithms to kind of identify humans and what they might look like in the future, or what you look like, and what you might look like even further in the future. So very interesting conversations that were happening online in regards to the data of your faces being posted multiple years separate.
I mean, it's kind of cool when you look at it, right? It is, right?
It is kind of cool.
It's cool. Like let's not say any different, right? But again, sometimes the coolness factor or the convenience factor, we don't think about some of the less than desirable things, the consequences that can have with it, and that's just what we're saying. As Ben Parker in Spider-Man the movie said, with great power comes even greater responsibility, right? And we're giving these social media companies great power, and it's important that they're taking on responsibility. And as we see more and more, we're learning more about some of these companies and things that they're doing, which is forcing change, which is cool, right? We're starting to see a change with big data companies and what they're doing and how they're dealing with our data.
Yeah.
So the next thing we want to talk about was we put out a survey to all our followers just after Christmas, where we asked all our preteens and teens, what did you get for Christmas? And we came up with a top 10 list.
We kind of put all the answers together, and we kind of put them all together and kind of gave us some data on what it is that all our followers received for Christmas.
And what was really cool was we just saw some recent articles just came out by some major tech firms where their data kind of matches ours, but we were the first out with it because we were actually asked the users. So it was anecdotal, it was empirical kind of thing, but it was amazing on how similar it was to what some of these other big companies found as well, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at this. And I think a really cool way is to do the late night top 10 list, the top 10 list. And we'll start at number 10.
I love top 10 lists.
So,
all right, here we go.
Here we go. Top number 10, digital art drawing accessories, 2%. What were those, Brandon?
So those are like those smart pencils that you can see, like
Styluses,
right?
Not
like a stylus,
like a pen, but it's
or like those USB slates. You can like draw an image, and that image gets transferred onto a digital format, so you can hand draw something. So those kind of like art products that are used in a digital environment.
Yeah, like in kind of like DeviantArt, right, where they can do some really cool things in DeviantArt. So that's number 10. Number nine was drones. Drones. Hey, and I think we actually have a drone, right? Actually, both Brandon and I have a drone. I crashed mine. I'm going to be honest. I was trying to fly it and that kind of stuff. I crashed mine. But have you tried flying yours?
I have not, because I don't want to break mine. Now, this isn't like a high definition mission like DJI drone or something.
Yeah.
It's a fairly like a cheap kind of drone, but I mean it's still cool.
It's kind of cool.
I've yet to fly it, but maybe I'll do a video on that later.
You know what? I want the ones now that you can toss and it flies independently and it follows you around wherever you go. Can you imagine those in our presentations? Like
Yes.
we toss one up, but we just got to, you just got to hope it doesn't fall into the crowd, right? Bad things happen if that happen, right? So that was number 9. Number 8 was Bluetooth speakers. And in fact, I think you bought one recently for Candace, didn't you?
Got a Bluetooth speaker for Candace, and I got her one of these really great Bose Bluetooth speakers. Like the sound out of this thing is fantastic.
It is, yeah.
She uses it at the beach, at her desk, in the living room, in the kitchen. So this is a. So it's surprising to see that people are getting things just like this.
Yeah, for sure. The next one was number 7, Apple Watches and Fitbits, and I think you have one of those, don't you?
Now, to be fair, I've had this for a couple years.
You did, but we bought you a Apple Watch wristband for Christmas this year, didn't we? Yeah, it was in your stocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in your stocking this year. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Next one, number 6, cameras and accessories. I think Brandon actually has one of those kind of digital cameras.
Like it's not. I know we've had this for a couple of years now, but I think we got this on like Boxing Day a couple of years.
We did. Yeah, we got it Boxing Day.
Yeah. So again, we're seeing people getting cameras just like this, taking some fantastic photographs.
And video. Like you can get full video with that, right? No, which is kind of cool. Right? Kind of cool. Next one was number 5 was smart home speakers. This one surprised me to a degree, but not so much because these were really being pushed hard by industry before Christmas, right?
Big marketing push for smart. Now, this is actually a product that we don't have to show because we actually don't have any home smart speakers.
We kind of stay away from them, right?
Which we'll talk about some IoT issues, here in the next segment.
Right.
But so kind of interesting to see that was a very popular gift this year.
It did surprise me to a degree, just because industry was pushing them so hard. And let's be honest, it's kind of cool to go, hey Google, what's the weather? And all of a sudden, boom, or hey Google, lock my house, or hey Siri, right? I mean, it's kind of cool, but with the convenience comes vulnerability, right?
Notice we didn't say the other one because I don't want your home speaker to do things.
Next one. Number 4
was
headphones and AirPods. And that's what I have, which are kind of cool, right? Because they're really cool. Became very popular. I know that you got a pair of Bluetooth ones as well for yours. But very popular this year under the tree with the kids and stuff, which was kind of cool. Next one, number 3, computers and laptops and tablets. This one really doesn't surprise me too much, right? I mean, we are moving away from desktops and towers and moving more to the laptops, and the slates and the iPads and that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool.
Not surprising. And then
and number 2 was gaming equipment. Again, not very surprising, right? It was in Nintendo Switches and that kind of stuff, and some of the other gaming. A lot of the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth remote controllers were very, very popular, right? Especially for those people who were playing games on TVs and stuff. So that one didn't surprise me. And number 1, hold on, here's the drum roll. Phones, 18%. But here's the big surprising one to me. It was only 18%. Like, I actually thought we would be in the 30 or 40% on the phones, but maybe it's because so many kids already have phones already, right?
Possibly.
So, but that one was number 1. Not surprising. And what was surprising to me was how only 18% though, right? Kind of low.
But actually interesting how many of those products are products that we got this year or last year.
Or we've had them.
And we've already had, interesting to see how things are changing.
Yeah. For sure. Oh, another question came in from Centrine Animations. I tried Telenom, and some people were asking me questions like, what's my favorite store, and who do I miss the most, and who do you want to spend a whole day with? Is it safe to answer these? I feel like it's not safe, so I told one of them to stop.
I would actually agree. The thing with these anonymous apps is that you don't know who it really is messaging you. So what that means is you don't know who's the person asking the question, and is that person getting information that may be sensitive. Like, was one they asked, what is it? Favorite store?
Yeah, they're asking one of the things I always say is if people start asking you very personal and private information, your hackle should go up. But you know, one of the things I want to say to Citrine Animations is that your gut you trusted your gut instincts, right? It's a million years of evolution that the Creator's given us to stay safe. And if your gut is telling you something's wrong, that something's wrong, and you did exactly what you should have done. But be very, very, very wary of anybody who starts to ask you very personal questions about personal information when you haven't really got to know them. And even then, you got to be careful, right, about sharing that kind of information online.
So again, it's like apps are great, but I'd recommend using apps where you're talking with your close friends or family, because that's where you really get those really rich conversations.
But good job, Citrine, right?
Yeah.
Good job. Next one, Brendan.
Next thing we want to talk about is
the Ring doorbell security cam.
An IoT product, which stands for Internet of Things.
Yeah, Internet of Things.
And with this product, there was a news story that was released not that long ago by The Intercept, a really great news source. A lot of security and investigative kind of journalism there. And essentially, with the Ring home security cameras, which are those cameras you can put on your front door or your porch or something, and it records what happens, and it saves all that video in case someone breaks into your house or there's an intruder, that kind of stuff, right? And one of the issues that was reported was supposedly that the Ring cameras also have built-in like artificial intelligence, where they kind of identify faces, but supposedly it wasn't up to standard. So what Ring had did was kind of contract to a company to kind of help manually artificial intelligence for their system, which means those employees of that company had video feed access to the cameras that consumers would put into their houses, which can be a little bit concerning for some individuals, because who knows who's looking through your camera.
Yeah, what can they see?
Now, thankfully, most of these Ring cameras are used outside the house.
But some can be inside.
They could be inside. So in regards to IoT issues, as always, we always like to be cautious about IoT. We think IoT, Internet of Things, is fantastic to connect and get information, but there is always a bit of concern. And with regards to video, one of the questions is, if you're using a product that's recording video in or outside your household, where is that video being saved and stored?
And who has access to it?
Precisely. Like here at the White Hatter team, we have a disk station that's like terabytes full of storage that we can basically, if we have a security camera, we can feed the recordings straight into this disk station, so it doesn't get uploaded to the cloud. So it stays more private on the household.
Oh, well, Ring, I just do want to give them a little bit of a shout out, because they got the new part of it. It's called Neighborhood Watch, whereas if everybody else has the Ring product, if somebody comes to your door, that video can go to all the other people in the neighborhood, where they can see who this person is and potentially what a car they're driving from a neighborhood safety standpoint. Kind of a cool option, right?
Yeah.
But again, with convenience comes vulnerability, and we just need to be alive to some of those vulnerabilities online. Next one. Oh, this one kind of makes me laugh, actually.
Okay, this article.
You found this one.
I found this article. This is an article that was reported and from a security researcher who did some research on some connected hot tubs to figure out if there's any issues with connected hot tubs. And what this researcher identified was there were certain hot tubs that potentially a remote hacker could log in and mess with the temperature settings on consumer hot tubs.
All of a sudden you're in soup. This kind of reminds me of my old psychology classes, where they talk about putting frogs into a pot of water and you turn it on to boil, and as it heats up, the frog doesn't know it's in hot water, and all of a sudden it dies from being cooked alive, right? That's what this one kind of, but this is an issue, right?
It's an issue because obviously, one, they could make soup in your hot tub, or they could turn the heat all the way down, so then the hot tub's not regulating temperature, which means there's a potential growth for like bacteria. Again, with IoT, there's some great features, but it's about making sure you're purchasing your IoT products from really reputable brands that will definitely ensure that they can update their device when there's an issue found.
And changing your default password on these devices, right? Like,
Yes.
when a lot of these modern IoT devices all have a default password, and when you get these new devices, it's so important to change that default password so that it makes it much harder for people to get into, right?
There's actually been some legislation down in California that there's some lawmakers saying that manufacturers have to force consumers to change their default passwords, which is kind of an interesting idea.
A duty to inform, right? Which is really important. I think it's a great idea. It's something that should happen here in Canada.
I
But
think so.
what are the other ways people can connect with us again? What's the reminders here, Brandon?
As always, the YouTube live show, we're here to communicate and talk with all of you, so leave a comment in the YouTube chat, add questions,
Ask questions.
leave comments, question on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, tag us, message us, and we'll be doing a giveaway at the end of the show as well. For those of you who have entered the giveaway, we'll be doing a draw that was on Facebook and Instagram, so stay tuned to the end of the show for the draw.
And Candace is monitoring all those feeds right now,
Yes,
right?
she
So
is.
let's get her busy. Let's get her getting those little fingers sending us messages, right? Which is really important. Now, one of my favorite ones that you created, which I really love, is Latest Tech Projects, right? Where we talk about what kids are doing.
Yeah. We love showing off, talking about all the positives technology can offer us.
Because
our
too many
community.
people concentrate on the negative stuff, which is important. Again, it's about balance, right?
It's about balance.
It's about balance.
So this is a segment where we are here to balance some of those negative things with some of those really great, amazing things we are seeing people doing online.
Yeah,
And the,
preteens and teens, right?
and the first thing that we came across was actually something you saw at a school. You went
Yeah,
to.
Nanaimo Christian, these two seniors here, as you can see, they got a laptop there. They were actually doing some research on how music can affect heart rate from a health standpoint. So what they were doing is they were playing different types of music, and students were listening and were able to measure heart rate using technology. And it was kind of cool. And it kind of reminded me, I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist, as you know, and we know that music can affect brainwave to change it from alpha to beta for the purposes of relaxation. So they're kind of doing the same thing, but they're doing it from a heart rate issue, which is kind of cool when you think about it, right? So a really cool idea how these students, rather than being consumers, are being producers and creators and using technology to look at something in a positive or a negative way to report it out.
Yeah, I think
cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then another.
Oh, here we go. Here's the shout out to Citrine. As we said, Citrine Animations. Here it is. Yeah, Keegan, he's on our chat right now online. Send us a couple messages. He's 14. He's the son of Hervé, one of our White Hatter team members, the IT guy. And he's in grade 8, and he uses Blender, which is an open source software program to create Lego animation, right?
Or any animation.
Any animation,
Yeah.
but he really likes doing it with Lego. And we got a couple of videos, the really short snippets to show. And we want to show you this really quick snippet one, and it's what the final product looked like. Again, just gives you a taste of it. And then
Yeah.
we're going to show you the behind the scenes. So let's show them the live one. How cool was that? Like, unbelievable. Look at the background right now. It looks so real, right? So that's what the finished product looked like. But let's show the viewers what it actually looks like behind the
Yeah.
scene, what this program actually looks like. Let me turn down the volume a little bit so people can hear me speak here, right? So that's what it looks like. There's the software that he's using to create it and stuff. And so that's kind of what it looked like as he was creating, right? And I mean, how cool is that, right? Like this young man, 14, grade 8, doing that kind of, like, I know, because his dad has shared this, he's been contacted by some significant major players in the field of animation saying, hey, you know what, we are interested in what it is that you're doing and stuff, right? So how could this open up doors of opportunity for him down the road when it comes to employment and that kind of stuff? So another really great example of how a student is not being a consumer, he's being a producer and a creator and doing it in a really cool way. Big shout out to Keegan. And you can follow him on his YouTube channel, right?
Citrine Animations, and he's currently in the chat right now live. So
yeah. Hey, Citrine, maybe you can put your YouTube, put it right into our YouTube chat, right? Just put a link there, so under your YouTube page there, so that people can follow you and stuff.
Yeah.
Big shout out, big tip of our White Hat to you. Good job. And by the way, he's developing a White Hatter app for us. Shh, secret. But he's going to be putting one together for us, which is another really cool thing, right?
Yeah.
Really cool thing.
Another kind of really cool thing that we came across last month was Candace and I, we met up with High Tech U.
Great organization.
And this is a local Victoria-based organization based in the University of Victoria. And what they do is they kind of connect young individuals with mentors and kind of try to get individuals to find, opportunities in the
Tech world.
and they actually partner with tech companies to help find potential future employees.
And mentors.
And mentor those members of High Tech U so that they become really sought after tech employees, which I think is fantastic because there's a huge need right now and will be in the future for tech experts and employees.
Yeah.
So if you are a local student or you know a local student
When we say local, we mean Greater Victoria.
in Greater Victoria that wants to connect with High Tech U to learn more about, mentorships and learning more about technology, this is a great organization you can connect with and sign up for and, basically learn some really cool skills that can help you in the future.
Really cool. I think you got a really cool picture of him, right? Where you traded some swag.
Candace and I met up with Andrew, the co-founder, and we actually traded some stickers.
Some swag. Swag.
I actually have, I think right there, I actually have one sticker on my laptop here. So again, the great organization, great individuals working there. So again, if you're interested in technology, you're local in Victoria, by all means, see what they're doing some great, amazing things. You can learn a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Again, for people who need to connect with us,
there's the way to connect. As always, YouTube chat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, comment, leave a question, and we'll do what we can to answer them live on the chat or afterwards if you want to message us directly.
yeah, well, we take messages afterwards as well because this recording will be on YouTube. It's going to be a part of our YouTube channel, right? Where it's all recorded. All our past ones are there as well, and we would encourage everybody to go there and have a look at the other ones, the past episodes and stuff. So now what are we going to do?
Well, the show is coming close to an end.
No,
I know.
That's so sad.
We'll be back again.
We will.
So,
We will.
as usual, at the end of the show, we love to do a giveaway.
Here we go. Big giveaway. Give away some swag.
And what we do is give away White Hatter
wristbands. Can you play that one again? I say this every one.
Okay,
look at that special effects, little starburst there going on.
So every time we do a live show, we are doing a giveaway once a month where we will give away White Hatter wristbands, stickers, special large White Hatter laptop stickers, and we actually have wristbands right there. A bunch of wristbands.
And a pen, a White Hatter pen.
So basically, all you would do is you would comment on a post of ours, which is our giveaway post, either on Instagram or Facebook. We ask you a question, you respond with an answer, and your name goes into a draw.
And we got a hat. We got 2 white hats, right?
2 white hats. We have 1 white hat for Instagram responses, and we have a white hat for Facebook responses.
Right.
And let's do Facebook first.
And we're probably not going to do a Facebook anymore, right?
Yeah, here's the thing with Facebook. For some reason, not a lot of people respond to the giveaway post on Facebook. We only have about 4 entries, but we have just about 25,000 followers. Just about 25,000 followers on Facebook. So we may not be doing Facebook giveaways anymore because not a lot of people are responding.
Maybe we'll give it one more try just to see what happens, right? Maybe this will be enough to maybe give a little bit of a boost. We'll give it one more time. But, if you're smart, what I would be doing is applying in both Facebook and Instagram because you just double your chances, right?
Because currently there's a 1 in 4 chance for the people who responded on Facebook
to get the swag.
Get the swag.
So are we going to do Facebook first?
Facebook first.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to do the drum roll and then you can do the draw. Ready?
Right.
Here we go.
All right. And
the winner?
Jessica LeBlanc. Blanc? Yes.
Yeah.
And
LeBlanc.
And the giveaway question was who is your favorite YouTuber or favorite YouTube channel? And
the White Hatter.
And I think someone did respond. So thumbs up for that.
Yeah, it was a thumbs up.
Actually, surprisingly, there was no PewDiePies. No one mentioned PewDiePie, which is interesting. There were some Markipliers, but there wasn't any PewDiePies.
That's because you're the old guy now, right? Like you're in your 20s as Candace is, and the young people
Yeah,
maybe
but
don't want it.
he's the #1 most subscribed YouTuber.
Oh, whatever. Soon we will be. Soon we will be.
Has he beaten? Is T-Series? Has he beaten Candace? Have they beaten him yet? Okay, so he's still ahead of T-Series. Okay, so he's still the #1 most subscribed
Whatever.
person.
Who won the Facebook?
Anyways, so Jessica, and they responded with Markiplier.
Yeah, there you go.
Lizzie Koshi are my favorite YouTubers.
Cool. Right on.
All right. So we will be contacting you directly to get information on where to send the swag to.
Instagram. Here we go. Drum
Instagram.
roll. Ready?
Hat.
Or you get rid of the hat.
All right.
Get rid of the hat. Ready?
So-
and drum roll.
All right, here we go. There's there's way more responses on Instagram. So look at all those. All right, here we go.
That's 2 drum rolls.
All right, so the individual who had Jelly Star Bean.
Oh,
it's a good name.
That's
I like
a good
that.
name. That's a good name.
And my favorite YouTuber is Aziland. Cool.
Oh,
All right.
interesting. Do you know that? Do you know that YouTuber?
I am not familiar. I'll have to look.
We'll have to look into it.
I'll look
right?
into it. So
Yeah,
I'll look
we'll
into
that
it.
one.
So again, we will contact you directly to arrange on how to get the swag to you.
Cool. Right on.
All right.
Well, this kind of brings us to the end of our live show, right?
Yes, that is another live show, another almost full hour of us talking about everything digital,
Yeah.
what's new,
Yeah.
what's great, what's positive, and some of the negative stuff.
Yeah, for sure. We can, again, it's all about finding a balance, right? It's all about
balance.
finding a balance.
So we have actually picked a date for the next YouTube live show.
Oh, what's that date?
And that is on February 17th.
Everybody mark it on your digital calendars. There it is, February 17th at 1 p.m., the usual time that we show it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So again, we'll be doing another giveaway. We may be doing Facebook, we may not be, but I think we'll give it one more try.
We'll give it one more try.
So if you're watching now, please watch for that Facebook post and
Come
comment.
on, for the parents that are watching us, we're at a great opportunity to get your kids involved and maybe enter to win some swag, because there's more parents that follow us on Facebook than on Instagram,
True.
right? I mean, more kids follow us on Instagram. And by the way, we asked Candace to do a poll on the people who follow us on Instagram are in middle school and high school. And Candace, what were the stats again, roughly? Roughly? She's just whispering in my ear right now. I think 65% said they were in high school and the rest were in middle school, right? Which I found kind of surprising, actually. I thought it might be the other way around, but it's really cool. But there's no doubt that Instagram, we're followed way more by teens than parents, whereas Facebook, it's way more parents and adults, but we also have teens that follow us there
If
as
you're
well.
someone who does not have a Facebook account, get someone you know who has a Facebook account to enter you in for the draw.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? Facebook is coming out a lot of criticism right now, but we still use Facebook. We understand its strengths and its weaknesses, for sure. But it's also a really good way to use it to leverage, right? Leveraging social media is something that Cal talks about for college, universities, employers, because we know that they're constantly going there to have a look as well. And what better place to show the world who you are and what you do and why college, universities, employers should be hiring you rather than your competition, right? So
I totally agree.
I really look forward to February 17th's next live show. I think we're going to have some other really cool things to talk about. Brandon's got some other ideas that he's going to be doing with video stuff that we're not going to leak yet. But you know what? I want to thank everybody for listening to us today. So on behalf of Darren, hello.
And Brandon, thank you so much. And Candace in the back, who's monitoring all the questions. Thank you so much for joining us on this live show. And we'll see you all next time.
We'll see you on February 17th at 1 o'clock. And so bye now from everybody on the White Hatter team.